ready to uncover a side of St. Patrick's Day you won't find in any parade. We're about to take a deep dive into the mystical origins of this holiday. And trust me, it's a lot more than just green beer and shamrocks.
That's right. Today's deep dive is going to challenge your perception of luck. We'll be exploring an article from mysticinvestigations.com. It's a website dedicated to all things supernatural.
Okay.
And this article claims to reveal the hidden connections between saints, leprechauns, and the very force of good luck itself.
So are you telling me there's more to St. Patrick's Day than meets the eye? What exactly does this article claim about St. Patrick and the supernatural?
Well, the article starts by suggesting that saints aren't just figures we revere.
Right.
They're active players in the world, and they have the ability to interact with supernatural beings, even those not traditionally considered holy. Imagine them working behind the scenes, influencing events in ways we might never even suspect.
That's a pretty wild idea. It makes you wonder what other secrets might be hidden just beneath the surface of our everyday lives. So where does St. Patrick fit into all of this?
Well, the article paints St. Patrick as a unique figure, even among saints. It claims that upon becoming a saint, he immediately focused his attention on harnessing the power of good luck, specifically through leprechauns.
Leprechauns. So we're really going all in on the mystical side of St. Patrick's Day, huh? What's the connection between St. Patrick, leprechauns, and good luck?
According to the article, St. Patrick believed leprechauns were key to spreading good luck throughout the world.
Oh, okay.
But there's a catch.
Okay.
He couldn't exactly go public with this plan.
Right.
Apparently, there's something called a supernatural secrecy pact that prevents direct contact between saints and the church on matters like this.
A supernatural secrecy pact. Sounds like a plot straight out of a fantasy novel. But if St. Patrick couldn't work directly with the church, how did he manage to connect with the leprechauns?
He went straight to the source of their power, a place called Lucky Lake. The article describes it as a mystical location, fueled by the wishes of humanity and home to a whole village of leprechauns.
Wow.
Think of it like a giant cosmic wishing well.
Okay, now this is getting interesting. A lake powered by wishes. A village of leprechauns.
Oh.
It's like stepping into a fairy tale. So what did St. Patrick do when he found this lucky lake? Did he just walk in and start making deals with the leprechauns?
Not exactly. The article says he blessed both the lake and the leprechauns, forging a special bond. This act essentially made the leprechauns agents of good luck, tasked with spreading it throughout the world.
So St. Patrick is like the ultimate good luck influencer. He's got a whole team of supernatural beings working to make the world a luckier place. But I have to ask, did everyone welcome this divine intervention? I mean, wouldn't some supernatural beings feel a bit threatened by this new power dynamic?
You're right, it wasn't all smooth sailing. The article mentions some initial resistance from Irish gods and goddesses who felt like St. Patrick was overstepping his bounds. It took the intervention of another famous saint, St. Nicholas, Santa Claus, to smooth things over.
Wow, so even in the supernatural realm, you need a little bit of diplomacy. So we've got St. Patrick forming this alliance with the leprechauns, and the world starts celebrating St. Patrick's Day. What happened next? Did all that good luck just start flowing automatically?
According to the article, it's more than just a holiday. As the celebration of St. Patrick's Day grew, all those positive vibes and intentions from people around the world actually gave rise to a tangible force, the spirit of good luck.
Wait, so you're telling me that our belief in good luck is actually making it real? That's a pretty powerful idea. So the more people celebrate St. Patrick's Day, the stronger the spirit of good luck becomes.
That's what the article suggests. It's like our collective belief and celebration are feeding this force, and the leprechauns are acting as conduits.
Wow.
Spreading that good luck throughout the year, especially on March 17th.
That makes you wonder about the power of our beliefs and traditions, doesn't it? Maybe there's more to these celebrations than we realize. But if there's a spirit of good luck, doesn't that imply there's an opposite force at play too?
You're absolutely right. The article does mention a counterbalancing force,
right?
A spirit of bad luck, suggesting that luck isn't always sunshine and rainbows.
Right.
Life throws curveballs, and sometimes things just don't go our way.
Okay, so we've got good luck, bad luck. Is it just a constant tug of war between these forces? Or is there a way to find some kind of balance?
That's where things get even more interesting. The article introduces a third spirit, the neutral spirit of luck. It emerges when good and bad luck collide, creating a kind of equilibrium, a middle ground between extremes.
That makes sense. It's like life itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are ups and downs, good times and bad times. It's all about finding that balance. But I have to ask, where do those iconic pots of gold fit into all of this? We can't talk about leprechauns without mentioning their legendary treasure.
The article dives into that too.
Okay, it claims that Lucky Lake isn't just a random body of water. It's connected to the Earth's energy. And the gold the leprechauns collect is actually their source of power, fueled by all those wishes made at the lake. So every time someone tosses a coin in a fountain and makes a wish, they're contributing to the leprechaun's energy grid. That's a pretty cool way to think about it. But what do they do with all that gold? Do they just hoard it like any stereotypical fairy tale creature? Actually, the article describes a fascinating ritual. Okay. Every 7 years, the leprechauns throw their old gold into Lucky Lake, where it's infused with new luck. Then they receive a new pot filled with this enchanted lucky essence. Rainbows guide them to the right spot for this exchange.
Oh, wow.
Acting like a cosmic GPS. Rainbows as magical GPS. I'm telling you, this is way more interesting than the usual leprechaun stories. So the leprechauns are constantly renewing their connection to good luck. But what about us? Can humans get in on some of that gold-fueled good fortune?
That's where the classic legend of finding a leprechaun's pot of gold comes in.
Right.
The article claims that if you manage to find one, or even gently capture a leprechaun, though I'm not sure how you'd do that, you could gain 3 wishes.
3 wishes?
Yeah.
What would you wish for? I think I'd need some time to think that one through carefully. But, the article mentions that there's more to leprechauns than just good luck.
Yeah.
There are also some, shall we say, less benevolent types out there.
That's right. We've got chloricons, who are essentially the evil twins of leprechauns.
Interesting.
They spread bad luck and make shady deals with humans, tempting them with short-term games that ultimately lead to misfortune.
Evil leprechauns. Now, that's a twist I didn't see coming. So it's not just a simple battle between good luck and bad luck. There's a whole spectrum of leprechaun energy out there, influencing the world in different ways. But if there are these chloricons running around spreading bad luck, who's keeping them in check? Is there some kind of leprechaun police force making sure things don't get too out of control?
There is. The article introduces us to the lupercons, hybrids of leprechauns and chloricons.
Wow.
Their role is to maintain balance, ensuring that neither good nor bad luck dominates.
Okay.
Think of them as the cosmic referees of the luck game,
Right.
making sure everything stays fair.
So it's like a delicate ecosystem of luck, with different forces interacting and influencing the flow of events. It's not just random chance. There's a whole hidden world at play, working behind the scenes to shape our destinies. But if that's the case, where do we fit into all of this? Are we just passive observers, or can we actively influence our own luck?
That's a great question, and one we'll explore further in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, fantastic. Before we went to that last thought, you were talking about how the leprechauns maintain balance.
Right.
It got me thinking, what about us? Can we influence our own luck? Or are we just at the mercy of these supernatural forces?
It's fascinating, isn't it? The article doesn't give us like a step-by-step guide to luck manipulation,
Right.
but it does offer some intriguing hints.
Okay.
Remember how the gold is connected to the Earth's energy and how wishes fuel that energy? It's perhaps connecting with nature ourselves. Could be a way to tap into that same source of power.
So you're saying that taking a walk in the woods could actually boost my luck. I like the sound of that. But how does that tie back to St. Patrick's Day specifically? Is there something about this particular day that makes it extra lucky?
The article suggests that St. Patrick's Day isn't just a random date on the calendar.
Right.
It's a day when the spirit of good luck is particularly strong,
Okay.
thanks to St. Patrick's actions and the ongoing celebration of his legacy.
So it's like a global surge of good vibes, amplified by centuries of tradition. That's pretty cool. But how can we actually tap into that energy? Does the article give any specific advice on how to make the most of this St. Patrick's Day luck?
It does. Remember the tradition of throwing a coin in a wishing well?
Yeah.
The article suggests that this act, combined with a sincere wish, can help align us with the flow of good luck, especially on St. Patrick's Day when that energy is at its peak.
So it's like we're sending a signal to the universe, saying, hey, we're open to receiving some of that St. Patrick's Day magic. I'm definitely going to try that. But what about those of us who might not have a wishing well handy? Are there other ways to invite good luck into our lives, not just on St. Patrick's Day, but throughout the year?
Well, if wishes play a role in fueling Lucky Lake and empowering the leprechauns,
Right.
Perhaps our own intentions and desires have a similar power.
Oh, right.
Maybe by focusing on our goals, visualizing what we want, and putting that energy out into the universe, we can start to attract good fortune.
So it's not just about wishing on a star or tossing a coin in a fountain. It's about actively cultivating that belief, visualizing our goals, and putting real energy behind those desires. It makes you wonder about the power of our thoughts and intentions, doesn't it? But if we can influence our luck, does that mean we're responsible for everything that happens to us? What about those times when bad luck seems to strike out of nowhere?
That's a great question, and
Yeah.
it brings us back to the concept of balance. Remember the leprechauns, the hybrid leprechauns who maintain equilibrium between good and bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
The article seems to suggest that life is a mix of both,
Right.
and that too much of either can throw things out of whack.
So it's not about trying to create a life of constant good luck,
Right.
but rather learning to navigate the ups and downs, the wins and losses, with grace and resilience.
Exactly. Maybe true luck lies in our ability to adapt to whatever life throws our way,
Yeah,
to find opportunities even in the face of challenges, and to learn and grow from every experience.
that's a really powerful way to think about it. It's not about avoiding bad luck altogether, but rather about developing the inner strength and wisdom to deal with it when it inevitably comes our way. But if luck is this dynamic force, constantly ebbing and flowing, how can we tell if we're actually influencing it? Are there any signs we should be looking for?
Well, that's where things get a bit more subjective.
Right.
Some people believe in signs and synchronicities,
Yeah.
those moments when events seem to align in a meaningful way. Others focus on cultivating an attitude of gratitude, appreciating the good things in their lives, and trusting that more good things will follow.
So it's not about waiting for a leprechaun to show up at our doorstep with a pot of gold. It's about paying attention to the subtle ways in which luck might be manifesting in our lives, being open to new possibilities, and taking action when opportunities arise.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that we're not just passive bystanders in this game of luck.
Right.
We have agency. We have the power to make choices that can influence the direction of our lives.
This whole conversation has been so insightful. I feel like I'm starting to see St. Patrick's Day in a whole new light. It's not just about wearing green and having a few drinks. It's about celebrating the potential for good fortune, acknowledging the unseen forces that might be at play, and remembering that we have the power to shape our own destinies, at least to some degree. But before we get carried away with all this talk of luck and magic, let's bring things back down to earth for a moment. How does all of this relate to our everyday lives? What are some practical ways we can apply these concepts, even if we don't necessarily believe in leprechauns and spirits?
That's a great question, and one that I think is especially relevant as we wrap up this part of our deep dive.
So we've spent this deep dive exploring the mystical side of St. Patrick's Day, uncovering a world of saints and leprechauns and a force of good luck that might be more tangible than we think. But how do we take all of this fascinating information and apply it to our own lives?
That's the key question, isn't it? Even if you don't subscribe to the idea of leprechauns throwing gold into a magical lake, there are still some valuable takeaways here. We've talked about the power of intention, the importance of connecting with nature, and the idea that we might have more influence over our own luck than we realize.
Right. It's like this deep dive has given us a new lens through which to view not just St. Patrick's Day, but life itself. Maybe it's not about waiting for luck to strike, but about actively creating the conditions for good fortune to flourish.
I think that's a great way to put it. Think about those leprechauns for a moment.
Yeah.
They're not just passively waiting for luck to happen. They're actively engaged in rituals. They're working with the earth's energy, and they're spreading good luck throughout the world. Maybe we can take a page from their book, so to speak.
So instead of just hoping for the best, we can take concrete steps to cultivate more luck in our lives.
Yeah.
What would that look like in practice?
Well, we've already talked about a few ideas. Spending time in nature, setting clear intentions, and visualizing our goals are all great starting points.
Okay.
But it can also be about something as simple as shifting our perspective. Instead of focusing on what we lack, we can choose to appreciate the good things we already have,
Right.
fostering an attitude of gratitude that attracts even more abundance.
So it's not about denying the challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see the good, even amidst the difficulties, and trusting that things will ultimately work out for the best.
Exactly. And one of the things that struck me about this whole St. Patrick's Day lore is the emphasis on balance.
Yeah.
The good luck leprechauns, the bad luck cluricons, and the lupercons in the middle, keeping things in check. It's a reminder that life is a mix of light and shadow,
Right.
and that both are necessary for growth and transformation.
I think that's a really important point. It's tempting to think that we just need to eliminate all the bad luck and everything will be perfect.
Right.
But maybe it's about learning to embrace the full spectrum of experience, the highs and lows, the wins and losses, knowing that each has something to teach us.
And who knows, maybe by embracing that balance, we create a more fertile ground for good luck to take root and flourish.
That's interesting.
After all, it's often in those moments of challenge that we discover our greatest strengths and find unexpected opportunities.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the mystical side of St. Patrick's Day, I think the message is clear. Luck may not be entirely random. We have the power to influence it, to cultivate it, and to invite it into our lives.
And even if we don't stumble upon a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, the real treasure might be the journey itself, the process of becoming more aware of our own agency, the joy of connecting with nature, and the deep satisfaction of creating a life filled with purpose and meaning.
This has been such a fascinating exploration. I feel like I have a whole new appreciation for St. Patrick's Day and a renewed sense of hope that luck in all its forms is something we can actively participate in, not just passively observe.
I couldn't agree more. And who knows, maybe by embracing these ideas, we can all make this St. Patrick's Day and every day that follows a little bit luckier.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. May you find your own pot of gold at the end of whatever rainbow you choose to chase.